Very good. Very good. So we are live on YouTube. Let me just post my story because my life now is based on stories. If I do not post, people get mad on me. Oh, you're not exercising, you're not speaking English. What happened? Yeah. And my mom usually. Oh, are you okay? So this is a record of this morning, Wednesday. I woke up at time, so I'm here to practice English. So my mom, just to tell her I'm okay, no worries, is everything fine. So it's me, Rosalia, Bel, and Bruna. We're gonna talk about creativity, 100% in English, and we're gonna have some fun. So if you wanna join, you can check us on youtube.com/talkandtalk. Very good, very good. So girls, so the topic is creativity. So let's be creative about our presentations. Okay. Oh my God. It's 6 a.m. in the morning. Come on. So, and to be creative, we don't need to, wow, my God, something really extraordinary. No, something simple but different, about the presentation. So I'm gonna try it first. And every time I do this, I have no idea what to say, what to speak, but let me try. I'm an only child. And this part of me has had difficulties to live by myself. So I struggle a lot being alone, a lot, for real. Though I have a lot of people around me, I still feel lonely, So this loneliness feeling, it's really hard, and it strikes me too hard some days. For the past few years, I have been living by my own, and I have had to deal with that. So especially during pandemic period, so it was really hard. And just sharing a little bit about myself that I guess I have never shared before. Okay, so everybody has its own struggles. So who's next? Bring something. It don't need to be like so deep, Sorry about that. I messed it up. Sorry. So, Rosalia, can you present yourself?
I'm trying to think about something because, oh my gosh, I can't remember. But oh my gosh, I'm Rosalia. I'm 55, some way, and I need to be a little creative. Sorry, guys, but I'm not creative. So in this moment, 6 a.m. It's so difficult to see something different because this night I can't sleep as well, and I'm a little sleeping. And in this moment, it's impossible for me to remember something different. How about you, Bruna? Please help me.
No, it's yours. It's like I don't know how to say like
Put in
hot
the
potato,
fire,
like
okay.
patata quente, So it's yours now. Go ahead.
So Philip said about the sun. I think the sun is not in São Paulo because it came to Brasilia. Here it's the sunny day. And let me see. I am 160 centimeter. Let me see more. I was a shy person in the past, but now I speak a lot. I don't know why. What's happened? Maybe because my husband speak a lot too in the past, and I learned it with him. That's it, I think. It's different, a little bit different.
Nice. Very good.
That-
Congrats.
And you, Belle, I think it's my first time with you.
No, Bruna, I remember you in the other immersion or
Yeah.
class. I'm not sure, but I remember you. So, morning, guys. I'm Belle, but I will introduce myself talking about two curiosity about me. I don't know why I'm here. I'm that way, but the first thing is I love coffee, but I don't finish my coffee. I don't know why. It's when I drink my coffee, but all the time there is a lack of coffee in the cup of coffee. Yeah, I don't know why. And the other thing is normally I take a shower. I turn off the lights to take a shower. I don't know why too. I don't know why. It's something about me. Yeah. And that's it. I think it's two things. It's very personal thing, but that's happened with me. I don't know why.
This morning I had a dark shower because of the lights, and it feels great. It's not the first time, but it feels great when I do it. It's a different feeling.
Maybe it's relaxed. I don't know,
Yeah.
but normally I turn off the lights for take a shower.
Yeah.
I don't know why. So.
Very good one. Very good one. Leandro, your turn. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't know. Good morning. I don't know if you know me. I'm Leandro, 35 years. I live in Santander. Student, computer engineering. I'm trying change my area. I was a construction worker. Now I try working with technology. Creativity for me. I don't know if I'm a lot creative. 6 a.m. I don't know how to tell about this. Speak about this. I guess I was more creative when I was a child. Nowadays, but most part of my life I needed get solutions about things. I guess when my deadline is finishing, I'm more creative. When I have some passion to solve things, oh my gosh, something happen, and I get solutions, and eureka. And I don't know. That's it. That's it. I can change by now. Yeah.
Very good. I have told before, but speaking in English early in the morning, it's a good exercise, though it's pretty much hard when you were starting because your brain, it's not, it's not comfortable yet with the language. So, and just to be honest, it took me a long time to feel comfortable with English, a long time. Even after I started teaching, some situations where I could speak Portuguese, I would speak Portuguese back there. Nowadays, it doesn't matter for real. Like for me, speaking English or Portuguese, it's pretty much the same. Of course, Portuguese is more comfortable because I speak much more, but English, I do not have that feeling anymore. I just go for it. I do not think twice if I need to speak English or Portuguese. I just do it. Yesterday, I went to renew my driver's license, and I told the doctor. He asked, "What do you do?" And then I told about TALKNTALK, of course. And then he said, oh, okay, so you can read the numbers in English. And then I was like there, like I felt really a fool, but I was saying out loud the numbers in English, you know. So even in situations like that I would feel embarrassed, I speaking in English, I do not feel anymore. So creativity helps on that too. And that's the first question. What's creativity? What is it to be creative? Because sometimes we think it's a huge thing, or we need to figure out the solution of a new disease or a new tool or a new technology. What do you think is creativity, Belle? What do you understand by creativity?
So I think creativity, maybe it's something like you look the one situation and the different point of view. Yeah. So in this case, you have one situation and you try improve that or get better that. So in your mind, you start think in the different way to lead with that situation. Yeah. So for me, for example, the creativity don't work like Leandro said. I not work with pressure. Yeah. Because I think the creative need to be free. Okay, you have a good time now and you look the situation and you can lead with the situation in the different way. Yeah, because in your mind work in that way. So I think to be creative is you need to have a good imagination, or you can have a good purpose about something. Yeah, because in your mind that situation are resolved, will be resolved. Yeah. So I think is that need to be, for to be a creative person, you need to look that situation in different point of view. Yeah. Because all the persons look that situation in the way. So you need to look in the other point of view to be a creative. I think is that.
Yeah, it's really important to have a different viewpoint of things, right? To look out of the box, as people like to say. But looking out of the box, it's much more like having a different opinion on something sometimes, on ordinary things, on daily situations. You can see or you can think about different scenarios. For example, on Talk and Talk, I'm always trying to get myself out of the box, though I'm really into the box and it's really difficult. It's a hard exercise. So what can we do different? So for 2023, we're going to have a couple of things different. We're going to have listening workshops, writing workshops, or activities that they are going to support the community, you know. So we're going this way, and that's, I think that's my main responsibility in here, to be creative. Leandro, what do you think? Do you think Belle is correct, or do you disagree with her ideas? And if you disagree, why you disagree?
In part, I agree and disagree. I think is when you're free to get to be creative is good, because you're free. You can think about solution things by free when you that what is possible. For me, I think get solutions more when for things that have some pain to solve. I think when I need to be creative when I have some problem to solve, and I think get solutions. It's difficult to talk about creativity. For me, most part of my life, I don't think about the things, but I try change the or think out of the box, like Philip said, do things in the other way. That's it. It's not so creative, but I think it change. Oh, this is this thing work in some place that how can I do this thing in the other way? Yeah, that's
in
it.
a different way.
Yeah, different way. Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, it's really hard to define creativity.
Yeah.
Bruna, do you consider yourself creative? Do you think you are a creative person? Why do you think that?
Well, I was nowadays, yes. But I think I learned it to be a creative person because I graduated in physiotherapy, and I worked a little bit time in the hospital, and sometimes you don't have material for to work, and it's necessary to think about how I do something, how I help it someone. And in this moment, I think I need to do this, and why, and how I do this, and it's necessary to create anything different, because I think it's creative. Maybe Bell said about something. It's you do the same thing with different points, and you do something, do it differently. That's it. I think in this moment you are learning to be a creative person.
Nice.
I would like to talk about this. I guess lack of researches, lack of under researches, low researches, make us more creative. If you can do all because you have a lot of money, for example, it's more difficult to be creative. You use more creative when you have some to solve. You don't have
You
money
have
to
no
solve
idea.
this. You need improving. Need
Yes,
improvisation. I guess.
That's why people say the Brazilians, they are creative, right?
Yeah, creative. A gambiarra. I don't know if you have some word in English
and
No,
like
like this.
Leandro said too, deadline for me is a good moment to be my creative.
yeah. It's like you have to do something. You don't have the resources, but you need to bring a solution.
That's right.
It's like a talk and talk. It's pretty much like that. Like we didn't have money, but I had to bring a solution. So how to do that? And then we built this community without teachers. It's unbelievable. Like, so it's all about that. I truly believe the same way, Leandro. Truly believe. Rosalia, do you consider yourself creative?
Nowadays, I think so, because today I trying to see for another side when you have some problem. I trying to see the other side, to trying to have trying to solution another solution, because my family is so big, then you have a lot of problems that you need to solve, to help to solve. My mom was all the time trying to solve, to say some words to calm when have some problem. But I think in this case, to be creative is trying to overcome the problem, to understand, to solve. Don't have money, but you have another kind of things to invent, to do. I think it's more or less about that.
Great. The next question I'm gonna bring is about the not just the education system, but the learning process. I'm gonna start back with you, Rosalia. How important is creativity along the learning process? And when I speak about learning, not just English, but everything, like anything, it's
about everything. I think it's so important to bring, especially for kids, to have to open your mind, because they have, I think they are more creative than the adult. Then if they have this opportunity to start to doing something more, things they have some resource for that. I think it's so important. It's if that bring in the learn in the school, especially in the school, I think it's more useful. I don't know, but I think the system, education system today, I don't know if it's so have this kind of in this school.
Yeah. Bruna, what do you think? Is it important to be creative? Like throughout the learning process, when you're learning something, how important is creativity?
I think it's very important. And nowadays, I think it is compared to the past. This education system, I think it's more learning more about the creative, stimulate more. Stimulate, no, you said persuade more. Because, for example, in the past, when I was school, it's only a right answer, and especially in Portuguese. For me, it's very difficult, the interpretation,
The enterprise.
because when I ask something, I write, and little no, I answer something, and the teacher, no, not is. It's necessary razor it and write the correct form. It's A, B, C, D. Only this. It's impossible to do different answer. In my opinion, I suffered this. Now, no, it's the question is open, and the teacher have any possibility for your students. I think it's a good point, and it stimulates the creativity. I think it's possible today is better than the past.
Belle, what can you talk about Bruna's opinion?
Yeah, I totally agree with Bruna. Yeah, don't talk about the educational system, but in the first moment, I think, for example, to learn English, it's a creative process all the time. Yeah, in the talk way, for example, because in the normal school, in the English school, we're learning about grammar, and the grammar will work in that way, But in talk, we need to talk, we need to use that. And all the time, and that's when I need to answer that question, my mind will to be creative, to use my knowledge for use the language, So it's a practical, it's a training in my mind, So I think we need to build the knowledge in my mind, because in the normal way, in the regular way, in the grammar, in the structure, we know, okay, we'll be working that way, but I need use that structure in my life, For example, in the beginning, when I start talking English or try to talk English, in my mind, I want to use the Portuguese way in an English way. So I'm very confused when I start talking English, because in my mind, I need to use the structure, Portuguese structure, So for English, when I start talking in the talk, for example, all the time, I use my mind, I try to be creative to say the same thing in a different way. It's not different way, use the English, but in my mind start to think in the different way. And I need to express myself in English, but in the different way. I don't know, it's hard to explain about that, but in my mind, to make sense, But I think to learn English, it's a creative process all the time. And I think the educational system needs to have almost be more process, like a project, because the child need to lead with different situations, like a problem, and the child need to use the other structure. It's not just in English, but other structure about other knowledge and use in that project, because it's a different point of view. So we need to build other structure or apply one structure in the other situation. I think it's important. That's it.
Yeah, even though Portuguese and English, they have like the same direct speech, the way we use words in English, it's different. So it's not the same way as we speak Portuguese, and of course it's pretty common to have Brazilian students speaking English in a Portuguese way, because that's the way they know. It's not a problem, but and this is why it's so important in inputs on creativity. For example, the talk methodology came from plants, like observing how a plant would grow. So back there in 2016, mostly 2017, I had a gardening back in my parents, and I started to grow basils. Okay, manjericão, basils. And with that basil, I remember the basil growing, flourishing, I don't know. Anyway, one of those. And then getting old. And then I read that, once it gets old, you need to buy a new one, or to cut and to start growing a new seed or things like that. And then I started to test, and then I started to do other things, and then the plant started to regrow. And I remember I don't know how to say oh my God, it's the trunk of let's say trunk or stem. Yeah, they stem or stem. I don't know how to say that. Stem. The stem, caule from the basil, started to get bigger and bigger. So I remember the stem, it was like twice my finger. And then I started to compare the students' development in English. And it's usually like that. You start to grow, start to develop, and then you reach the ceiling somehow in your head. And then you need to go out and do something, and then to keep going. And it works exactly that way. And that's where I started to call Talk and Talk E Aprendi. Because you start to develop your speaking, and then you realize you're learning instead of studying to learn. So simple things with creativity, and then you have different approaches, different ideas. So everybody's using Duolingo to learn a language. Nice. But what else? How can you be creative on this process? And that's where you start to record YouTube videos, share your ideas, you get likes, you get followers, and soon enough you get money because you have been creative to develop a new mindset about something ordinary, about something everybody does. And then you bring a new methodology that the schools, they don't want you to know. A new methodology to learn English in 2 weeks, you know? So, yeah, creativity brings some of those as well. I'm gonna skip this question now. And have you ever had a
I
situation?
don't know, Felipe. Sorry, I think Leandro don't answer.
Yeah, and he's not going to. Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna skip this one because the next one I'm gonna ask him. So he's oh my God, thank God I'm not going to answer this, but you're gonna answer a new one that's going to be more difficult, okay? So thinking about creativity, have you ever had the chance to really be, or you had to be creative enough to bring a solution to your life, to your family, to your friends, at work, on your studies? And what was that? How did you do with that? This is pretty much an interview question, you know? So, Leandro, do you remember the last time you had to be creative, and what and how did you do that?
I don't remember the last time I needed to be creative. I don't know. You can change the question, the person to us.
Just because you were like, thank you
A
for
deadline.
speaking.
I don't remember my
This is the
my
time
last
for you.
time. I needed to be creative in many times, and I don't know the most important. Okay, I guess I needed to prepare some photographs. I needed prepare some photos for my friend wedding. My friend don't have the resources to pay a photographer. I studied some photography a few years, and I help my friend to improve improvisation the photos in happened was good. I guess that's it. My last time.
Very good. So, yeah, I think we always have the chance to be creative on a daily
Yeah.
basis. We are not aware of that. Belle, do you remember the last time you had to be creative?
Yeah, in the beginning, the conversation, I need to introduce myself in the creative way, but I don't know why I get that. But no, so the first thing that coming in my mind, it's about my planning all the day or my management, my day, yeah? Because for example, I have different tasks on my day. So I will every day I'm try organize that thing in the best way. Yeah. So in the better way. So I need to be creative for that, for use my day all day in the best. Yeah, I think it's that all the time. I try to be creative. Maybe in the Instagram when I take photos or and share with my friends, or when I try to cook something. For example, yesterday, in the last night, sorry, I cook I cooked a different thing for dinner. Yeah, it's in this different way. Maybe at my work, yeah, because all the time I need to think in the different way and I need to think quickly. I think it's that.
Very good. And this is what I was looking for on this question. You have the chance to be creative at early in this morning. So we always have the chance to be creative. All the time. Every single minute. Every single minute. If you do exactly the same way and you do something different. For example, the last time I was creative in a way that I post online and I show people, it was to wake up early in the morning, 5:15 a.m. to post, to bring, to share. And every time I need to post stories, I have no idea what to talk about. And then there's a sparkle in my head that brings me ideas to talk. Talking is creativity at its essence, you know. Bruna, do you remember the last time you had to be creative?
Yes.
Do not bring the same example as Belle. It's
All right.
not work anymore.
Yesterday when I made my lunch, because I have a little bit different food, so it's necessary to create a different thing because I don't want to take out the food. No, I think it's a big problem in Brazil. So, and I don't like this, and then it's necessary to do some different food, and I needed to food mix, and it's so delicious, and I don't know, aproveitei. I think I enjoy the food. That's it. But like you said, all the time you do some creative things, no?
Yeah, to be a mother, it's like the highest skilled creativity you can have. Like to be mother, especially mother. I shouldn't, but
Yes.
especially mother, you need to be creative, you know.
Yes, I agree.
Rosalia.
The last time, I think every time you have to be creative because the way you are doing something, but I was with an example in my mind, but Bruno stole my example because Sunday at night, my brother
Come on,
says, I
Rosalia.
will I will come to your house. You need to make dinner for us. Then I need to make something creative, and that after that it's okay because I don't have nothing outside my refrigerator. Yeah,
Yeah.
I need to cook and make something so hurry, but it's okay. But another example. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Every time you need to be creative in the house because I'm a mom. My son says, "Mom, I need to. I wanted to eat some bread, some biscuits. I need to make. I need to do." Every time you need to be creative.
Yeah.
Guys, today, one of the days that my mind don't bring some word in my mind. Just talking in English today is so hard for me.
Yeah.
Today I'm lost.
Yeah. And for example, as a host, you need to be really creative to bring the questions. But I see a lot of people struggling with that. But for me, I already have like a structure how to do it. I can bring any topic and I can create 10 questions like in 2 or 3 minutes. Any topic. And if you follow what we have been doing, it's pretty much the same structure. Definition, then you go deeper, and the last 3-4 questions, they are more like in the ideas subject. Like it's not so black and white. It's more like we're gonna dive into somewhere that we have no idea. So the last questions usually they are something like that. So there's though there's creativity along the way, there's also a structure that you can follow. So that's my next question. Do you think children are more creative than adults? And why is that? No? Belle, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the children can be more creative than adults, because normally the adults have a different rules and follow different not different rules, but follow rules in the society. So it's hard to look in outside of the box, yeah, because that thing work in that way. So in my opinion, that don't work in the other way. And for the child, the child have a different, there is a imagination, yeah, and the child, it's in the moment building knowledge in your mind. So it's more easy apply different thing or link different device in one thing, yeah, in one project, for example. It's best, I think, because the child, when I said before, creative have that there is a link with creative and to imaginary person, yeah, and the child, it's very that there is a lot of imagination in your mind, because your mind is more free, yeah, and I think is that the adult person have one way to lead with different situations, yeah, so sometimes the adult work in the automatic way, yeah, and don't stop to think in the different point of view, or don't work in the improve that situation. And for the child, just the child have a basic, but can work in that situation and use different devices or results for that. I think the child can be creative, but adult person can be training that, yeah, training that in your mind, but it's more hard, in my opinion.
Very good. Very good. Bruna, same opinion, different? Are children more creative than adults?
I agree with Belle. I think the for the child is maybe easier because the children they aren't afraid of making mistake. So in this moment, they will be more creative. For example, I work one place that's necessary in the Wednesday, for example, the weekend. It's necessary to do meeting and have a meeting, and it's necessary to do a brainstorm in this moment when you have a lot of creative things, creative word, creative and whatever. So because it's necessary you put your idea, your imagination in this moment. So I think it's a good moment for for the job to create something. And but in this moment you don't afraid if you about the judgment about your idea, no? It's
Yeah.
the moment you have the creativity, for example.
Children, they are not afraid of bringing
Yes, yeah, the judgment, the
stupid
other.
ideas,
Is that I think that's it. Children don't afraid about this, the judgment. I think it's so good when you was when children. No?
Do you think like being afraid to be afraid, it's something that blocks creativity?
To be afraid?
To
Yes,
be afraid blocks creativity.
the creative. I think yes.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Bruno. Completely.
Leandro,
I visualize this when I do when I do the brainstorm, because it's necessary everybody do this. So if you don't do this, it's a problem. No, okay, I need to do, and you needed to speak something. So it's the moment have the deadline, the pressure, and the everybody's if it good or no, what else? It doesn't matter.
yeah. So it's like in a brainstorm meeting, you tell people, do not be afraid. You don't need to be afraid. So share any stupid idea, right? Because they're not stupid. They're just ideas. If they are stupid or not depends on how other people think about it. Any idea is not stupid. It's
Yeah,
just
I'm sorry, Felix, because I remember one dynamic in group, yeah, and it's something about that there is a boss, yeah, in the group, and that boss need to be the group need to okay, bring me a good idea about something in that project, and I will start. So in this case, the boss start and bring a stupid idea, yeah. So in this case, it's like a strategy for all the employees don't to be afraid about judgment, yeah. So I remember that's because that's happened with me, yeah. My boss said, okay, bring me different ideas about that problem and I will start. So, but my boss said something stupid. It's something like, okay, I will, yeah, I don't remember
example.
yeah, but was something ever simple, like I will drink water for resolve that problem. Yeah. So in that situation, it's a strategy for all the employees like me and my friends, my
Feel
coworkers.
comfortable.
Yeah, to be comfortable or okay, there is a stupid idea, but I will try to bring other idea better. Yeah, but I don't will judgment other my coworkers or the other friends. Yeah, because that can be yeah, that's a good strategy. Yeah, I remember that situation now. Was I just yeah.
Yeah, and it's really important to be aware and to bring to consciousness what happens in our daily lives, so we can learn from that. So if you start paying attention on your leader, on the group of people you work with, and you can take something out of it. and you can learn. So really, the learning process, it's what we were talking about yesterday, the correction. For example, I don't know if Bruna has realized that I have just corrected her like 4 or 5 times. Have you realized?
Yes, I realized, but I think that's I'm here to realize all the time the words. I think oh my gosh, I spoke this wrong. But when you correct me for the succinct form, no, I
Yeah.
realize all the time because I want to see this to realize this.
Yes. So the learning process, it's really about creativity. And creativity means you need to pay attention on your surround, what's happening around yourself. Because if you're looking inwards, it means you're not paying attention on what's happening in the environment. So is there climate change or not? If you're not paying attention to the seasons, for example, this morning, it was different because every single morning I post a story with the sun rising, but today was dark at the same time that I do every day. So, oh, what is that? Why is that? What is different? Is it the weather because it was raining all night long? Is it the earth that changed a little bit, the rotation, you know? So, and then it comes the learning. So you go for it, you search, but you need to have this spark of curiosity. And then you create something. So to search is to be creative, to realize that, oh, it's not you is, it's you are. It depends on how you realize the environment. And sometimes we are just in a passive mode, like, okay, I'm just here waiting things to turn out. Sometimes we are waiting something or someone to deal with our challenges. And we are not children anymore to have an adult to tell us what to do. We are, and we should be adults at the moment. If you're here at 6 a.m., it means that you decided yourself to be here. That's why I think this is the most important time to learn English. Because it's not about English, but the behavior to decide to wake up early in the morning, to be here, to spend 1 hour of your life. And then it comes other things. So, yeah. This is another topic I enjoy too much talking. And it always focuses at the same point, you know, self-awareness. It's not about how we teach, but how we learn. You know? But I'm here guiding the conversation and paying attention to what's happening. You know? So if you realize, Bruna, that the afraid feeling, it's not an action, but a feeling, that like an emotion. So you're gonna realize that I am afraid, not I do afraid. You know, it's always I am afraid. Someone is afraid. Once you realize that, it's going to come naturally. You know, so and another example, it's we are always using more easy instead of easier in English. It doesn't affect the message, it doesn't change the meaning, but people realize that is a grammar mistake. And every time a student says, oh, more easy, it's like subir para cima. When you hear subir para cima, automatically it triggers you to correct the person, because you know when the person doesn't. And imagine every day on immersion, someone telling you, it's not more easy, it's easier. Like every day. You're gonna stop coming. You're gonna stop talking. And then you're gonna search for private English classes that are not live on YouTube. So yeah, it's really huge, this what we are doing here with the immersions. All right, Leandro, do you have something creative to say, to share with us before we finish? Really creative.
Yeah,
Like,
I totally agree with you. I don't have a lot to add. I agree. Creativity is important, subjective. I'm not a lot of creative because I learned to follow the script. I follow script to solve things. I'm a I was technician, engineer. Yeah. You follow script. It's not you. I feel creative. I have I admire the person that can be creative, writing good texts or make some artist things. I like a lot. It's skills that I can improve more in myself. That's it. I believe creativity is important, but because these children is more creative by adults, I guess, and don't have a script in your mind to follow. Only did things is freestyle by freestyle. I guess
yeah,
yeah.
really good, really good. Sometimes when we like, a lot of people have already answered a question or a subject and you don't have anything else to add, it's a really good strategy to bring up what people said and try to summarize the idea. So if you're the last one to answer and you think, oh, I have nothing else to add, so try to summarize. So Belle said this, Bruna said that, Philip said this one, and I think it's this way. So the ability, the skill to summarize ideas and to be really clear, it's really, really hard. It's really hard. And this is another exercise it's good to do in here when you're answering questions on the immersions. Okay. Before we finish, this survey is here. Please just spend 5 seconds to answer. It's helpful. And if you want to suggest a topic, I would appreciate a lot. So if you want to talk about creativity back again, just answer that there or bring something else. If you want to be creative about the topic, I would love that. And it's going to be challenging for me. Okay. So I want to thank you, Belle, Bruna, and Leandro. Have a good day. Enjoy the week and take care of yourselves and see ya. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Good
Bye
morning.
guys. Thank